You are officially in the incinerator. Welcome to Midnight Madness, the live streams that we do here on the Alert Zone TV. Shout out to everybody because it's a worldwide movement. I'm going to give everybody a couple minutes to get in here like we always do. I am your host, James. Got my juice tonight. Hope you guys and girls are doing well. Give the video a like as you come in. Make sure you subscribe. All that good stuff. Hope everybody's having a good night. Been up all day, so I decided, well, just got home a little while ago. I'll go ahead on and do Midnight Madness. All right, we got Dr. T in the house. How you doing, lady? How you doing? What's going on? We got Pause and Play in the house tonight. Definitely. Hope everybody is having a good night wherever you are. It is midnight here in Central Standard Time. Definitely. Shout out to GunTube. And when I say GunTube, not only the content creators, but the people that absorb the content that we create. While I'm here, Regular Gun Guy, they had a really good conversation earlier. Unfortunately, I had to jump out of it. I'm going to catch up on it probably tomorrow while I'm getting a couple things done. But this thing about Sig Sauer, that Sig drama, go and check that out. The live stream from tonight, a Regular Gun Guy. Shout out to you, RGG and Zach, and to everybody that come in the chat room. But yeah, this Sig thing is really gotten out of hand. But like I said, I give everybody a couple minutes to get up in here, and yeah, it was good earlier. Yeah, I know they jump topics and stuff. As a matter of fact, while everybody come in, make sure you give a like. Let me go get me. Let me finish off the rest of my little crayon grape here. Sitting here drinking some crayon grape tonight. All right. What's that, Irvin? Got Irvin in the building. I hope I pronounced your name right. Yeah, all right. What's going on? We got Larry in the house. If I say Baby Earl, $1,000 dead ass. I don't know. This ain't no them P Diddy freak offs here. Yeah. I try and read comments as I go through here. So yeah, we got the trolls usually come up in here and call me names early. No, let them go, Dr. T. Let them go. I know the trolls usually come up in here. Appreciate your, Irvin, appreciate you for subscribing. Bring your family and your friends over too. This is a wonderful place to be. Yeah, I like when some of these guys and girls come through here and call me names, man. It just make me laugh. But I was saying, yeah, we're going to have a real good discussion tonight. I'm going to try not to hold you guys and girls up too late, but it happens. You say it's your little brother's birthday? All right. Shout out to your little brother. Happy birthday to... I got to wait for your name to pop back up. So I can go ahead and give your brother a special birthday shout out. And well, it's technically the 7th now, but it was the 6th a couple minutes ago. Shout out to a couple of my relatives. It was their birthday today. Definitely. And to your little brother, tell your little brother shout out and happy birthday from the Alert Zone. And we wish him many, many more. All right, we're at the 5-minute mark. Let's get into it. This is going to be a juicy topic tonight. As you guys have seen the title, hiking, biking, and walking trails, the dangers. Nick. All right, Nick. Happy birthday to you, Nick. Appreciate you. Wish you a lot more, many more birthdays. Biking, hiking, walking trails, the dangers. Let's talk about that. So, I had something come across my feed the other night. Okay, that's good. I had something come across my feed the other day, and so you guys and girls can understand, when things come across my feed, or I'll be looking at Google stories or what have you, some things I see I don't jump on right away. I've learned that a lot of people title things to get you emotionally invested, and it be something totally different. I like to research things before I speak on them. I try my best. I'm not perfect. Sometimes I feel like that, but I have been hearing this story about a couple killed went hiking in front of their daughters or whatever. I didn't pay no attention. And 2 or 3 more times it came up. I said, okay, let me listen to this. And it turns out a teacher unalived this couple. I want to say this was in Arkansas, right in front of their daughters. And I said, wow, pretty gruesome murders and what have you. And it made me think about, from time to time, I watch Forensic Files and I watch stuff like that, and it really made me think. Hiking, biking, walking, jogging, exercise trails in this country, a lot of people have been SA'd, YouTube. They've had sexual crimes committed against them. And a lot of people have lost their lives here in America going hiking, going biking, going walking on the trail. And it made me think. This is why places like this is needed. Yeah, I'm tooting my own horn tonight. This is why you gotta have channels like this, the nutritious channels. It's a conversation about safety and the Second Amendment that a lot of people, if you ask them on the surface, wouldn't even think one goes with the other. Every person that goes onto these types of places should practice a few things. Number one, if you're an adult, go with at least one other adult, sometimes more. If you don't believe in a firearm, I was just finna say, if you don't believe in a firearm, take you some kind of a mace, some kind of a knife, some kind of a something. We talk about Scooter Jr., we talk about church shooters, we talk about Pookie and Ray Ray, and Edgar and Lee and everybody else out here acting a fool. But there's a quiet place in this country where a lot of people have lost their lives. And it's on them types of places, going out hiking. All right, we got well-dressed tactical. Yeah, man. And I just thought that we would have that conversation. And Dr. T brought up Central Park. If definitely, places like that, you guys and girls don't understand something. Criminals are opportunists. Most criminals are not brave. They're opportunists. And all they're looking for is an opportunity. Yes, you're not hurting nobody by going get on your bike and ride the bike trail. About going to that midday walk, or that afternoon walk, or that early morning power walk that I see y'all out there doing. But because those places are so quiet, They're mostly frequented by women. A lot of women like to go out there alone. These criminals look for these kind of opportunities. Yeah, you have to make sure everybody, but particularly women, when you go to do this kind of stuff, you gotta have some protection with you. Now, all right, we got Tactical Skill in there. What's going on? I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna ruffle some fellas, but I have to say this. White women, listen to me. Listen to me really good. Y'all are the #1 victims of this. Y'all are the #1 victims of women that are attacked on these types of places. Look, I don't know what your husband teach you. I don't know what your parents talk to you about. You're gonna be going to these kinds of places, take you some protection out there. A dog would be protection enough depending on what kind of a dog. The kind of dog will probably make a difference. But I just have to say, and this is because everybody is welcome here. A husky, oh yeah. Yeah, husky is definitely, a husky would be something that if you is properly trained to defend you, yeah. But we gotta have this talk, and I know this is kind of racializing it, but here we talk about it across the board when it comes to safety. White women, y'all are the #1 victims of this crime. Look, criminals commit crimes close to proximity. Criminals commit crimes where they're comfortable. A lot of times we focus on crimes that tend to not typically happen to us or in the particular areas we live in, because the mainstream media and public conversation is always about the hood. If you don't live in the hood, stop focusing so much on what goes on in the hood. Because it's not hood people that's out here committing these crimes. And it's not hood people out here that's the overwhelming majority of the victims. Don't throw stones from a glass house. I always say that because I want everybody to understand something. None of us is immune from crime. None of us lives in an area that is crime free. Because you don't see a crime being committed doesn't mean it's not happening. You just didn't see it. You know what I mean? Pookie and Ray, look. Pookie and Ray Ray ain't going out there jogging in the morning. I'm sorry. Pookie and Ray Ray ain't riding around the bike trail looking for some woman that they can catch off in the woods by herself to do something to her. That ain't typically Pookie and Ray Ray type of get down. #1, they look out of place there. So everybody's going to be on alert. Criminals commit crimes in proximities and in places where they're stealth. They can fit right in. So that's why I just decided I wanted to talk about this. You know, like I said, there's numerous stories. When you go to a lot of these serial killers from the past, they'll tell you, I saw her jogging. I saw her on the trail. Here a couple years ago in Iowa, we had a story about Molly Tibbert or something like that. Forgive me, rest her soul, for messing up her name. She was out jogging in the morning, and the guy rolled up on her and kidnapped her. And I think it was a month later or something, they found her body in the cornfield. It was a nationwide manhunt. The video came up, and then when he got the alleged perpetrator. I just thought this was something that needed to be talked about, because it's a very dangerous place, and most people just don't think it. They figure I'm out here jogging, riding the bike, walking. Uh, oh, I don't know about that Jimenez now. I don't know about that Jimenez. Or Jimenez 380. Don't get me to talking about them again. Hell, at least have you a 22. Something light that you can depend on. Like I said, bare minimum, some kind of a mace or a pretty nice sized pocket knife to defend yourself. Because this stuff keep happening. And imagine, this is a school teacher that decided to pull this. They said that he unalived this couple on a hiking trail in front of their 79-year-old daughter. That's a nasty motherfucker to do something like that. But it's something like I always tell women. Y'all don't understand. The world has changed. And you gotta change with it when it comes to your safety. You wanna go out for that early morning jog, that early morning walk? Sometime I'm up early in the morning, going to work, and I see different people walking around town or whatever. The smart women, they're with their husband. I even see some women that walk around with real thick sticks, you know? With real thick sticks or something. Sometimes I see 2 or 3 of them to a group. You got more of a chance of somebody getting away for help as opposed to being out there by yourself unarmed. I know the sentiment. This is going to sound chauvinistic. I know the sentiment is y'all can do what men do and you can fight just like men. Yeah. Go to the cemetery and dig up some of them bodies and ask some of them women if they had those same thoughts in their head. When these guys jump out on y'all to do this, they looking to do damage. Yep. People you just assume nothing is gonna happen to you. You don't ever know. You don't ever know, man. All these guys are doing is looking for an opportunity. You see it all the time. These women walk by these guys, they smile, they wave at them, and the next thing you know, she's screaming, or he's got his hand over her mouth and he's stabbing her or doing something sexual to her or what have you. And the reason I think it's something we should be talked about is because it happens more than people think it does. Just because you don't see it on the TV or it doesn't make the national news, it happens way more than people think it happens. And I'm not even talking about this because I want to racialize it. I'm talking about this for everybody. When you out there on your bike, have something with you. You never know when you're going to need it. If you like me, you from New Orleans, Audubon Park, once in a while you might have a Wally Gator running through the park. It's not abnormal that from time to time, I remember, it wasn't abnormal to see a damn gator loose. You know, one time Audubon Park had all them damn nutri-rats running around there. Them damn gators came there and feasted on them. But you just never know what people are capable of doing, and you never know what's on somebody's mind. Criminals look for opportunities. That's why they catch you on these trails. They catch you alone, and they do what they do. They don't come to the parking lot where everybody's there and try that. They're looking to catch you alone. And this is why I always preach. You got to be safe out here. You got to expect the unexpected. You got to understand, ain't no such thing as a safe zone anymore. Oh, okay. Okay. But yeah, it's sad what happened to that couple. Their children will never, ever, ever have a normal life after experiencing something like that. Man, If you going hiking in the woods, in the mountains, you definitely should have something on you besides that fucking stick. At the least, you should have a stick. But if mom and dad has a stick, somebody should have been able to bust this motherfucker in his head. Nevertheless, you know when you're going on these hiking trails, for those of you who've never been like out in the wilderness, you should always have something on you. You don't ever know what's going to jump out on you. It's the wilderness. Here in Iowa, I know they say from time to time, certain counties, they might spot a mountain lion roaming around. You don't have to tangle with that. The black bears that you run into in places, the foxes sometimes these rabid coyotes. Whoo, them Pepsi bottles behind me. Oh, goodness. That's all I can say is, oh, goodness. That's how old they are. That's why they, decoration. They old. They old. For those of you who don't remember, you know I grew up in the 80s. It wasn't nothing to go in somebody's house and see the old Coke bottles, the swans. If you ever see the Coke bottles, the glass bottles shaped like a swan, them old bottles, boy. Them old. You know, this is like just a decoration from like back in the 80s. A Pepsi, a collector's Pepsi, a collector's Coke bottles was something that we saw, you know. So that's I can't even give you age on them. I can just tell you they're old. That's it. But nevertheless, when you going out on these hiking trips, bottles they found on the moon, huh? Yeah, man, they old. But yeah, that's kind of, you know, what I want people to think about out here. If you go out, you go biking, you go hiking, you go walking, you go exercising on the trails, in the parks and stuff, going forward, I would like for you to consider, if you don't carry anything with you, carrying something. Also, if you frequent these places, like I go to the gym, but yeah, I always, when I'm out in the wilderness, I always got a sidearm on me. Sometimes I got 2 or 3. If I'm actually going hunting for something, I'll have me a long gun. I have my SR-45. Usually I have my 380 in my pocket. I got my knife that I usually have. I take my machete out there, so I go out there fully equipped. So if I run out of bullets, I'm gonna start swinging. You know what I'm saying? I go out there fully equipped. I'm damn near dressed like a Call of Duty warrior. But another thing, if you go out to the bike trails, to the walking trails in the morning, it's just like going to the gym. Eventually, you're going to see somebody, you may not know them, but you see them every morning or every evening or whatever, and y'all give each other the head nod or y'all wave, how you doing? Talk to them about protecting themselves. Strike up a conversation. The worst thing they can say is thanks but no thanks. At the end of the day, what we talk about here on the Alert Zone TV, is for the everyday person. It's something everyday people may or may not think about. Maybe you was thinking about this conversation that we having now, and I'm just the avenue to bring it out. But I think about that all the time. You guys and girls know I'm a binge watcher of cops. There's sometime I get into this binge watching of Forensic Files, and for 2 or 3 weeks, every time I turn the TV on my tablet, I'll turn it on and just watch it, and just watch it, and just watch it. Yeah, yeah. I just watch it, and they never. I don't care what kind of them crime shows you watch. You always see something about some person, usually a woman, on the trail getting kidnapped, or getting assaulted, or getting beat up, or getting robbed or something. Criminals are opportunists, and I want everybody to understand that. We've been given an image of criminals, but we don't think about the definition. Yeah, SR-45 is a Ruger. I love my SR-45. Big Ugly. I love that gun, boy. I love that gun. I'm not going to tell you it's the favorite gun in my collection, but I love it. I mean, like, I love it to... It's one of the few 10-round guns that I feel real comfortable carrying it anywhere in the country. Those 10 rounds out of that gun, how well I perform at the range with that gun, Big Ugly gonna get me back home. I know that for a fact. So definitely. If I'm gonna carry full size and carry 10 rounds or less, I'm grabbing Big Ugly. Come on, let's roll. Usually, if I'm going to New Orleans and I know I'm gonna be there a couple days, I got Big Ugly on me. I know New Orleans is Chopper City. I got Big Ugly, and Big Ugly ain't failed me yet. It ain't got me home. So yeah, I just hope that condolences to the couple that lost their life that was camping. Hiking. I'm sorry about that. Condolences to your children. I just want to say this. As a law-abiding citizen, you got a right to protect yourself. But also as a law-abiding citizen, you have to understand something. You have to be willing to protect yourself, and you got to open your mind. You got to get out of this thing that America, or if you don't live in a particular neighborhood, you're safe. There is no most... Hell, I'll be honest. So I grew up in Central City, uptown New Orleans. There used to be a time where most people that live in the neighborhood I grew up in didn't even lock their damn doors. Right? Slap dab in the middle of the hood. Didn't lock their doors. It's hurricane season. All my ain't people, all my people from the South, but New Orleans in particular. You guys and girls know after we had a hurricane and the lights went out, in the daytime everybody would go outside and play. At nighttime, after everybody took them a bath, we slept with the windows and the doors open. Because it was too hot to close the doors, because y'all don't know about sleeping in the house with humidity and you can't have no fan on. But the door was unlocked. Some people slept with their doors wide open. And you never had to worry about nobody coming in there and touching your shit. So I'm not going to even, if you've never lived in the hood, for my look, nah, actually, I'm 5'4". I'm 145 pounds. 150. I'm working on getting back to 145. Yeah, I'm a little fella. At RM5, they couldn't believe when they saw me in person how little I was. But yeah, for those of you who didn't for those of you who didn't grow up in the hood, I just want to put that out there. It wasn't... The hood just simply means black folk. That's where that come from. The hood doesn't come from necessarily being impoverished. It just come from living in a neighborhood full of black people. You know, we good for coming up with our own slang and changing words and cutting words up. So that's how this hood thing started. But there was a lot of parts of the city where people didn't really lock their doors and stuff like that. It wasn't like people think it is, and then if you never lived in it, you won't never get it. At least growing up in New Orleans. But nevertheless, kept the windows and doors open after hurricane time. so everybody can stay cool. You know what I mean? So you may live in the middle class or upper middle or a gated community. That still don't mean you're immune from crime. Like I said, these guys, it happens too much. We wouldn't even be having this talk if this didn't happen. I said I wasn't gonna talk about this. No. I fell off an extension ladder. I was servicing a AC unit, refrigeration unit at the meat packing plant I used to work for, and the ladder slipped from under me. And on the way down, my arm got caught in the ladder, and when it hit the ground, it broke my arm in half. So that's how I tore up my arm. But the Central Park 5 thing, without me going overboard, because I have a lot of different feelings about that. The accusation of what happened at the Central Park 5 never could have happened if it wasn't already a recurring thing that this type of thing happens at these kinds of places. That's what gave that woman the braveness to make up that lie. Because this type of stuff happens so much. You know what? I'll be honest. As a matter of fact, I own 3 45s. I got the SR 45. You guys, if you look at my community tab, you see my 1911, my Chrome 45. And I got the M&P Compact 45 Micro. I'll tell you what. Oh, okay. I like Big Ugly. But yeah, like I was saying, if it wasn't for this type of stuff being normal, this woman could have never made the accusation that she was assaulted. She could have never made up the story that she was assaulted if it wasn't normal that this stuff happens there. And I think that's something a lot of people overlooked. They overlooked the fact that she accused a bunch of black boys. That's part of it, but the biggest part is if this stuff didn't happen normally at these type of places, she never would have been able to tell that lie. That's something that slipped in and a lot of people never thought about, and some of y'all probably never thought about it until I just said it. That's what gave her the audacity to pull that, because it's normal that this stuff happened. You know, so you guys and girls gonna go out there. You're gonna be on the trail. You want to get in shape. You want to go for a stress walk. That's fine. Remember this. Take something with you, or take somebody or bodies with you. All right. What's going on, Irvin? Take somebody or bodies with you and go out there. Take the music off if you're alone. Walk and listen, or if you're going to have music on, don't have it blasted. Make sure you can hear. Keep your head on a swivel. These guys are only looking for an opportunity, and it only takes a blink of an eye for them to find your remains. Unfortunately, that's unfortunately, that's a part. A lot of us, when we get on the bike, and we ride bikes, we have music on. That's fine. Have something on your person that you can grab. When people stop you If they look out of place, keep going. You can tell. You can just tell. Um, be careful of law enforcement impersonators. I know that's hard, but some of these guys get out here and impersonate law enforcement. I had watched Forensic Files one time, and there was an episode, I think somewhere up in Michigan, where you had I think it was somewhere in Michigan where you had a guy pretending to be a cop, and he would go on these hiking trails and he would catch these women, and he was killing them. So he would use his red and blue lights to stop them. And when he would approach them, he would have them get out the car. And the next thing you know, he put them in these flexi cuffs, and off they went. You know what I mean? So don't think that because you're on the bike trail or the walking trail, nothing can happen to you. If you're a woman that's out there by yourself, I know this day and age is not like it used to be, but if you see another woman come, why don't you introduce yourself to her and y'all go out there together? Even if y'all only meet up so you can watch one another's back while you out there. Don't put yourself in harm's way like that, because all it takes is a blink of an eye. I wouldn't be talking about this if it didn't happen. Unfortunately, this family had to learn the hard way. It was the husband and the wife. And because the husband, I don't know all the details, my understanding is that he came up to this couple and did what he did. Get out there. Take some protection with you, ladies and gentlemen, but especially the ladies, because things happen to them more. Take some protection out there. They make so many different varieties of firearms. Find you a female gun tuber. Go and support her channel. She's going to give you, from a woman's point of view, tips on what kind of holsters and what is the best guns to have on you when you have on certain apparel. Don't take your safety for granted. It only takes a blink of an eye for you to be on one of these news stories that you went hiking and you went missing. Everybody knows that this has been going on for years. Years ago, when the Colorado River basically in some areas touched the bottom, yeah, shot placement is number one. Okay, active self-protection is a great channel. Yeah, that's good. You guys and girls, so the Colorado River had drained, and they were saying when it got to, for those of you who don't know, the Midwest had a bad drought. They were finding dead bodies at the bottom of the river. They was finding 55-gallon drums with bodies in there because the water had receded so low. People go to Colorado and do a lot of hiking. If you ain't got 2 or 3 people with you, what the hell you hiking in Colorado for by yourself? And if you're going to go out there alone, you're going to need something powerful on you. You got the bears. Like I said, you got the wolves. You got the mountain lions and whatever else. Who knows what else is out there? Snow leopards and everything else out there. You got a variety of things that can happen to you. Don't take your safety for granted. Yeah, you know what? I think that woman should have been charged, convicted, and I think she should have got a life sentence without parole. Because the ramifications from the Central Park 5 stretch beyond New York. That's what a lot of people may not understand. That had ramifications around the country. That had ramifications. I'm from New Orleans, and we watched that play out, and the first thing that came into our mind, that could have easily been one of us. Speaking of could have easily been one of us, let me just go ahead on and address this while it's on my mind. We had another situation that showed us it could have easily been us. There was a young fella, I believe his name was Sharif Kuzan, that was sentenced to death as a teenager for a murder that happened in the French Quarter that he didn't commit because he's on video. For those of you who don't know, in New Orleans, we used to have what was called the Midnight League. It was a police league where they had basketball games at midnight, and it was to keep the youth off the street. This kid is on videotape during the time of this game, and because somebody was murdered in the French Quarter, he was still convicted, and I think he sat on death row for 10 or 15 years or something like that. That wasn't too long after the Central Park 5. As a matter of fact, we was all damn teenagers when this happened. This could have easily been one of us. So, yeah, like I said, that Central Park 5 thing had it had potential damage all way outside of New York. And I'm just gonna leave that there. But oh shit, I've been on here over 30 minutes. I said I was gonna do 30 minutes and let y'all go. I'm so busy running my damn mouth. I be trying not to keep y'all too long on Midnight Madness and Midday Mania, but sometimes the conversations just get so good that all right, we got Destro. The conversations get so good that we just keep on carrying on, and the next thing you know, like the other night, it'd be an hour and a half, we still be on here talking, you know. Okay, I'm gonna keep going then. So yeah, you know, so that was the meat and potatoes of it. Being safe when you go on these places. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and switch back. I know I sound like I sound like a repeated record, and I'm banging the drum about something I still don't have 100% knowledge of. But I just gotta bring it back up again. This thing about SIG. Yeah, this thing is it is. I got a chance. Besides listening to a regular gun guy earlier, I got a chance to do a little bit more research about that. What's going on, Sean? You know what? Eventually you're gonna see one on the channel. People say that they're useless. I say this. Go to the cemetery and ask some of them dead bodies. Yeah. So I always say this. 7.62 is my up close round. If I got a close, yeah, all right, we got Texas in the building. Oh man, that's all right. You can always catch us on. I was supposed to get off here, but they wanted us to keep going, so we'll just do a little bit of gun talk. So this is my preference. I always say, in close quarters, I want 7.62 with me. Now, if we go over 100 or 200 yards, well then go ahead and give me the 5.56 2.23. I'll give me the 300 blackout. But yeah, that 7.62 up close, it does its job. You know. Somebody asked a question, AK or AR? 20 years ago, I would have told you an AK hands down. Today, especially that my knowledge and my experience with guns have expanded, I can see why ARs are so popular, man. I love my AR. Pretty soon, I'm gonna probably get me a couple more. Probably from a couple of different countries, but I mean companies. But I love my ARs, man. I know a lot of people. I think what is it modular as they call it? In layman terms, I think ARs are a lot easier for people to build. Yeah, you know what? I'll tell you right now. For hiking, especially now that the market for PCCs are so large and they making them so light, man, PCCs now is way lower, lighter than they was. I would definitely say if you took a PCC with you, you would be okay. Like the Tech 9, the Mac 11, shit like that was what we had for PCCs. They was big old chunks of metal. Now you got the Scorpion, the Stribog, the X-Star. You got so many choices now that these PCCs are very light. You know what? Wow. So there's a new segment I'm working on the channel. You guys will probably get to see it in the coming weeks. A new part of the channel that I'm gonna be doing. So I talked to a gun shop, and he told me give me just a second, I'll comment on. He told me that the Springfield Cooners, he selling them as fast as he can get them. So I definitely got to get my hands on one. As far as that 43X, the Glock 17 is probably the Glock I'm the most interested in. But I want the MOS. I want to be able to red dot it and what have you. Maybe eventually I'll get me a 43X and just to try it out, because I hear so much about it. Everybody that I know that carries a 43X, they swear by it. I don't know a lot about the gun. I think I've had a chance to shoot one. It wasn't that bad, you know. Of course, the owner had Glock knuckle, but I don't know a lot about the 43X. I'm not gonna shit on it. I will say this. My biggest problem is Glock. Guess I just don't get excited when I hear Glock. Not because I'm telling you, let's get this straight. I'm not telling you Glock is not reliable. I don't know, I guess because I give the Glock boys, I know so much of shit that, but that 43X, yeah, I might look into one of those. As a matter of fact, I tell you what, the next time I get a chance, get the chance, if I can show one on the channel, I'm gonna shoot one and show it on the channel. Well, you know what? Buying a Glock 17, I won't be buying that to carry around. I'm buying that because it should be just one to have. I'm sticking with that Echelon. For the time being, my main EDC is gonna be that Echelon. Unless it start malfunctioning so bad. For the time being, though, I'm gonna stick with that Echelon, man. It is. You guys know what I think about that gun. I'm gonna leave it at that. But yeah, like I said, carrying something on you, you got all kind of options now, man. I mean, this is just a wonderful time, especially if you got money to be into firearms. Man, you can just buy yourself whatever it is you want. Glock 48. Oh, okay. So shout out to my brother Eyes and Ears Tactical. He's a Glock aficionado. You know what? I will say this. Glock always gonna remind me of a Tonka truck. They all look the same, but they work and they keep working. That's one thing I say about Glock. I know I posted the video of my friend that had that malfunction. Excuse me. But I still think Glock, when it comes to reliability, especially for pistols, I think Glock is top shelf. Even if I don't particularly go crazy for a Glock, I think it's top shelf. It's top shelf. Yeah. Yeah, everybody had Glocks, man. Now, like I said, that MMP lineup, man, Glock just got a lot of competition now. You can't go wrong now. Okay. Glock is the AK of pistols. Yeah. Yeah. Now there is one gun I got on my list. I gotta really get out here and make some money to get that. That CZ. Is that the Shadow? The one with the orange grips on it? Yeah, Glock, their looks is what everybody knocks. It's not their performance. And people talk about that Glock knuckle. The new Shield X. Okay. Yeah. The Shadow. And I love to have that CZ. It's tactical sport. The blue. The FNX. I think I got a chance to fire a couple rounds out that FNX 45 tactical at Arm 5. It was a really good shot. I still don't know a lot about FN though. Other than that, I've never shot an FN. I don't own an FN. The first FN I seen that I was actually really interested and still am interested in buying is the 509 tactical. The 510 tactical and the 545 tactical. Yeah. I'll tell you this. FN is like SIG was. FN got they crop of buyers and they're not gonna change for them. You can't get a new FN for under a good one for under $1,000. Now they got that reflex and all that. I don't like all that. That tactical just look mean. That FN 509, 510, 545, them tacticals, man, they look mean. I love those. I love those looks. Nevertheless, yeah, FN have their customer base and they stick to it, and that's the thing, you know. It's like SIG, like I said, everybody knew for not the mediocre, but for a SIG before the 365. Everybody knew when you go and buy a SIG, you're gonna spend at least $1,000. And SIG had a good crop of customers that was okay with paying. I mean, the Rattler, the Copperhead, them anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500. And the people who buy them don't flinch. And they're willing to throw all that away for quality control. Wow. Wow. I mean, think about it. Some of these companies, for what you pay for a SIG, you can buy 2 or 3 guns. And SIG willing to let all that money go out the window because they want to cut fucking corners. That's bad business. That's all I can say about that. But yeah, I have several things that's on the list. Like I said, I'm gonna keep you guys and girls updated. I definitely want to do a giveaway in December. I tell you what we'll do. Maybe around the end of September. Hopefully somebody remind me, or I'm gonna have to write it in my book. We'll do a live stream, and I'll probably pick 5 or 10 companies, and then we'll agree. We'll do it live on a particular firearm. And for December, I want to say maybe the first week, no later than the second week, because I would love for the winner to have it by Christmas. We're going to do a giveaway. I'm not sure what the details are going to be about how to enter the giveaway. I'll keep you guys and girls posted on that. But I want to do a giveaway to show my appreciation. My preference is I would like somebody that's subscribed and somebody that does view the channel, whether you're able to catch me live or you catch the records, the videos. This year wasn't what I was hoping it would be. I'm gonna have to put in some more work. Things are starting to get turned around. You guys and girls, y'all inspire me to do more of these live streams, because it started off, my live streams was just one person, two persons. My live streams after a month probably had 20 views. I think we going in the right direction. More and more people starting to join the live streams. They starting to watch them and what have you. And I just think that we would have to have a sponsor for that, a year supply of 9mm ammo. We would have to have a sponsor for that. That would be nice. But starting, like I said, I would love to at least give one firearm away. Shit. I got one box of 454 ammunition and I'm afraid to go buy another one. The price I paid for that one box, 20 fucking rounds. I already don't shoot the damn thing as it is. I might have to buy a tripod to damn hold it on. But besides that, I would love to be able to give away other things, some accessories and stuff. As the channel grows, as we start doing I could imagine. As the channel start growing, I want to do more giveaways and stuff like that. Just things to let y'all know I appreciate y'all interacting with me. Like I said, if you like what you hear here, I know sometimes it could be rated R with the profanity. Some of y'all children cuss way more than I do. But like the stuff, subscribe to it, give it a thumbs up, bring people over. When it's a particular topic that affects somebody around you, send it to them. Go on YouTube, hit share, text it to them, email it to them or whatever, and tell them, didn't we just have this conversation? Maybe they may like what they hear here. Maybe they may not like what they hear here, but they want to come here and have a conversation with me. Let me know what their disagreement is, and we can talk about it. Without you guys and girls, there is no me. I'd just be a loudmouth dude talking about guns and people be calling crazy. But I really enjoy these lives. These lives, it's like everybody else that does a live. You say you're going to do 10, 20 minutes, and I remember when T-Electric lives used to be 3-4 minutes, and the next thing you know, they started turning it into 4 and 5 hours, so it happens sometimes, you just feel good. The conversation is good. We engage with y'all. Like I always say, I learn so much from y'all. That's why I like doing this. I just learn so much, man. I get a wealth of information. Hopefully, I can give you something that can apply to your day-to-day life or somebody you know close by. Um, as far as the goal and the mission of this channel, I've inspired at least one person to get legally armed. So as far as I'm concerned, the goal is accomplished. The mission is not complete. I just accomplished the goal. I know I've been instrumental, if it's a lie they told, in getting a lot of people armed. And I feel proud about that. Yeah, I'm tooting my own horn. I feel proud about that. You guys and girls don't know, before I had this channel, I had certain conversations with certain people that told me I was crazy, I was exaggerating, I didn't know what I was talking about, I need to stop being paranoid, and then things happen, and those same people came and turned around and asked me what was a good firearm that they buy. Yeah, it's good to hear people from home. Shit, that's part of the reason I watch Swamp People so much. Yeah, I love to hear people with the home accent. Mine not as heavy as people from New Orleans, but nevertheless. Yeah, like I said, we just want to inspire everybody out here. To get legally armed. I talk about a lot of these things because of my life experiences, and I always try and make it relatable to everybody. But I also want people to understand crime is everywhere. It can happen at any time, any place, for any reason. It can happen at any time, any place, for any reason. So I just want you guys and girls to always be safe out there. As I said again, I'm going to go ahead on and I'm going to let y'all get out of here. This has been another episode of Midnight Madness. Hiking, biking, and walking trails. Make sure you bring your protection when you get out there. If you're afraid to take a firearm, take mace, bear spray at the least. Don't be another person that wind up on the news as a victim. With that being said, everybody, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Until next time, stay safe, stay armed, stay on high alert. We out.